Hi, I'm Mira, 𝐂𝐫𝐞𝐚 avatar, and I'm thrilled to welcome you to our 5-week mini-series AI Sparks and Speaks. Over the next few sessions, we're going to dive into a variety of new AI tools designed to enhance business, events, productivity, creativity, and so much more. This is your golden opportunity to learn, share, and ignite discussions in a relaxed, no-pressure setting. And just to set the record straight, it's not me, your friendly AI, hosting these events. You'll have 𝐂𝐚𝐽 herself in flesh and bone guiding you through. But before I pass the mic over to her, I have a small favor to ask. Please click on the link in the comments or chat area to vote for the AI tools you're most excited to learn about in our upcoming sessions. Your insights will light the way for our journey, your spotlight, your voice. Join us on this adventure at AI Sparks and Speaks, a place where your curiosity sparks our conversations. See you there.
All right, friends. This is our last session of AI Sparks and Speaks, the finale, really. And it's been an exciting 5 weeks. I am very much excited that we got to do this consistently for 5 weeks, especially in the midst of events and traveling. And if you're in the event world, you know that can be challenging at best. So with that, let's get ourselves started. And this is week 5, also the last week, but that doesn't mean that it's the last of the series. I am definitely considering to start another mini series once the spring of events is over. So that might be potentially later, beginning of summer, or during some of those slower months. In the meantime, well, if this is your first time attending, you're in for a treat. It's probably the best session to attend. We're going behind the scenes with a lot of transparency as to what does it look like to produce the Events Demystified podcast with a lot of the AI tools that we are implementing, have been implementing specifically since the last, 6-8 months. And our first season in AI, the eventful AI that started in September of last year, was very much using this workflow. So welcome. I hope that you get to learn a lot of the things that will be shared today. And it might be a longer session just because there's a lot of things that I'm going to cover. And I want to make sure that you get value out of this conversation. And with that, yes, I will be putting that QR code or link in the chat just because I want you to be able to input. And let me do that right now. I wanna have input from you. I'm trying to find my LinkedIn here. So that if we are starting a new series, you get a say as to what is more important to you to cover. I want those conversations to be very much valuable to you that you're tuning in. So while all of that is fun and exciting, I always like to start with an icebreaker. And because today's conversation, it's going to be covering a lot of tools, including AI avatars. And no, this is not an AI avatar that you see right now. It's myself. And Liz from the 𝐂𝐫𝐞𝐚 Club, she started this joke that if we can see your hands, we will believe you. So it's kind of like a habit now. Now, here's the icebreaker that I have for you. Imagine an avatar that could attend meetings on your behalf, manage your emails, or even, give you some fitness coaching. I would love to know what type of AI avatar would you create for yourself? What unique features or skills would you want it to have? So share your thoughts in the chat. And again, if this is your first time joining, welcome to my LinkedIn on AI mini series. I can't wait to hear from you. And I'll try to keep an eye on the chat. I know that it's a little delayed, at least on my end, so that can be a little tricky, but I'll try to keep an eye on it once in a while, and that just means that I'm going to have to look that way. So before I get into the nitty-gritty, a little intro about myself. Again, if you just happen to drop on those live streams, my name is 𝐂𝐚𝐭 Trifan. I am your host for AI Sparks and Speaks, and I also own and spearhead Trifan Events, where we're very much passionate about merging cutting-edge event production technology and AI to craft memorable experiences. We have created this Fit for Events framework, which is built on 4 foundational pillars. That is futuristic AV production, innovative AI technology, thriving audiences, and empowered behind the scenes teams. And together it's forming this comprehensive strategy for not just creating content, but also using technology to enhance event outcomes. As a seasoned AV professional and AI consultant and advisor to the event industry and small businesses, I'm also a podcast host and producer. As I mentioned, the podcast has been running 2 seasons right now on AI conversations, especially as it relates to the event industry, to small businesses. And I'm all about the small businesses just because I am one of those. And if that small business it's also a woman-owned, even better. So on top of all of that, I'm also a competitive bodybuilder, a mom, and I pretty much thrive on being busy all the time, pushing the envelope in technology and in life. And that's kind of me in a nutshell. So with that, let's get ourselves started. And like I said, this would be the QR code that you can still engage with. The poll is open for anyone that would like to share their thoughts on what could be some of the things that we could cover in future content or future series. And I'm serious about this. Like, I want to hear from you. Like, I can talk about a lot of things, but if those things are not relevant to you, then they're not helpful, right? So if you take a moment to use this QR code, and this for real, I'm going to try to take it here. Let me go to my other screen and put it in the chat. I want you to engage with it, okay? So I'm going to try to make it easy. Here's the link. All right, let's go back to LinkedIn here. And right now we're actually streaming on several platforms. So LinkedIn is a little tricky. I have to put it in there manually, whereas from StreamYard, I can push it to the other destinations. So before we explore today's topic, how AI could be used in podcasting and media production, the AI tools that we use and how we use them, let's take a quick moment to look back on our journey through AI Sparks and Speaks, a mini series, and what we have covered so far. So if this is your first time, maybe it gives you a bit of a curiosity to go back and check some of the other episodes that have been already recorded. So in our first week, we tackled the newly passed at the time European AI Act. We were discussing its potential impacts on the future of AI. This was more than just a news update. It really was a dive into how such legislation could shape the development and ethical considerations of AI technologies used worldwide. Following that, we introduced 3 specialized GPTs. Events GPT Copilot that has been introduced by Social 27, AV Production GPT, which has been introduced by Trifan Events, and Wellness at Events GPT, introduced by Olympian Meeting. Each one of these tools was showcased for its unique capabilities, from smoothing out event planning processes to integrating wellness into event agendas, enhancing audiovisual, technical planning, and budget management. And the aim was really to demonstrate the breadth of AI's applicability in event settings, in professional settings. One note on those GPTs: if you do not have GPT-4, GPT, ChatGPT Premium, you might need that in order to access those custom GPTs. And I went into details as to why would you want to do that? Why can't you just use ChatGPT? I gave an example of exactly why that would be a decision that you might want to make. And if you want to go and check that out, you know that would be episode 1. So feel free to go back to that. Now, in our second episode, we explored Max AI and Julius AI, which was focusing on the specific uses, particularly for LinkedIn engagement, enhancement, and then Julius AI for spreadsheet data analysis. And if you're a data nerd and want to see more than just the numbers on a spreadsheet, Julius AI is a really good tool for that. These tools really showcased how AI could streamline daily task analysis, offering practical insights, visual insights into maximizing your productivity and efficiency in how you use your spreadsheets, but also how you interact on LinkedIn. Then in our third episode, we ventured into the realm of workflow automations and playbooks with Bardeen. And why Bardeen? Because, there's multiple other tools out there. Zapier could be one of them. But let me tell you, sometimes you decide to use a tool because their customer service is so amazing and you get such a white glove treatment and service that you cannot say no. So to me, that's what Bardeen is. I've been working with their development team and their product team, and they've been amazing. Kudos to Lucy for her patient with all my needs and requests to really dial in the type of playbooks and automations that I need. And if you know me personally, you know that I'm a very detail-oriented, you could call me picky person. So there's something to be said about someone that is able to meet you halfway and really deliver on what the product can do. So we shared a couple of examples of how Bardeen can be used in lead generations for LinkedIn, capturing, and even more so. Today, I'm going to showcase one playbook that at the time I was still working on, and it needed constant fine tuning. So I think we got it, and it's integrated with ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT has its own rules and a number of tokens that you can use. So it was a bit of a fine tuning, as I mentioned, but I hope that I can showcase the final product for this one particular workflow now, because it is related to the podcast production. And then our last week in episode 4, we dived into the creative world with a pretty comprehensive look behind the scenes on several text to image generators, including Dolly, Midjourney, Ideogram, Adobe Firefly, and several more. This was a bit of an exploration that was aimed at creatively looking to understand how these tools would compare with each other, what kind of output you would get if you were using, say, a similar prompt. How could you enhance your art, design, creating projects by transforming textual descriptions into visual creations? And I feel like those tools have come a long way. There's actually been this week a last very significant update for Adobe, but more on that later. So what is this week's focus? Today, as we wrap up our series, I am excited to go behind the scenes of the Events Demystified podcast. And like I said, I'm an open book. I'm transparent on how I use AI and how it's implemented in our workflow, in our processes. And I wouldn't be able to do all the things that I do, including bodybuilding, if I didn't have some solid processes in place and workflows to expedite a lot of the tasks, especially mundane tasks that don't need to be done by someone like me that could be doing bigger and better things. So if there's a way where I can save time, and I'm talking about hours upon hours on editing, on generating scripts or art or reposting all those snippets all over the place for marketing purposes, well, guess what? I'm the first one to sign up, as I said, and I'm also the first one to sign up to be cloned, if you may, where my future AI avatar will be able to join all of those Zoom meetings that I don't need to join in person anymore. I mean, in flesh and bones or virtually, whatever. And I can be in the gym working out for my next competition. But that's just me. Okay. Now, we're going to mention some of these tools without necessarily going into a whole lot of detail into them. Like, this is not where I'm going to show you how to, I don't know, edit in the script. This is not how I'm going to show you how to stream with StreamYard or how to start your first design in Canva. I am assuming that you have a list, some kind of understanding of how some of those tools work. If you don't, I mean, that's totally okay. It's just, this is not the episode to really give you the step-by-step instructions how to get started with some of those. We're just going to focus on how this workflow works from top to finish and give you some ideas if you want to implement them in your processes, in your workflow, creative workflow. If you have a podcast, even better. And that would be our goal today. Now, for a quick rundown, I wanted to explain how we do things at Events Demystified behind the scenes. So we use StreamYard. Now, I probably won't be able to go and show you how StreamYard is used. That's kind of like a picture-in-picture situation. I'll see how that looks. But I'm like right now, literally, I am using StreamYard to stream to LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook. So we'll see if that even is attainable without technical glitches. So from there, we run the recording to the script for basic editing, removing of filler words, adding captions, and then getting descriptions and timestamps and marketing snippets all from the script and their AI function, and even blog post articles that go on our website to promote the episode with SEO-friendly keywords and meta descriptions and socials and titles. And the key takeaways that then we take those takeaways and run them through 𝐂𝐤 for Mira, which is my AI avatar, to intro the episode. Now, one side note here. If there's a tool out there that you know that could generate real-time takeaways as you're having this conversation with a guest, and you can have this tool listen, right? It's kind of like Read AI would listen to the conversation and then produce a report of that meeting, notes and main takeaways, action points, and all of that. Now, if that was so instant, so then when I am done with the conversation and I'm at the wrap up and I can get that main takeaways already produced, already generated, and I'm just going to read it to, basically capture the essence of what that conversation was about, please do let me know. I'm still in search for something like that. So this is my, call for anyone that has knowledge of such tool. Please let me know. Right now, this is my workaround with that. I would go post-recording, get the transcript, and ask AI to just give me the key takeaways, then I will take that into Hey Jen. Mira is going to already make up and ready to go, is going to produce about a minute of an introduction, which then I attach to the edit in the script. And that's the making of the video episode that goes on YouTube, goes on Spotify video, and all the other places. Let's see. Yeah, so we have YouTube timestamps, which are really, really great. I used to use a different tool for that. It was Swell AI, but I kid you not, like I was constantly running out of transcript minutes for that, and it was very annoying because I constantly had to pay extra for more minutes because some of those conversations are long and they charge you per transcripting minutes. So I kind of got tired of paying this base price and then constantly being charged additionally for going over that. But now the script does that without even having to think about it. So it's amazing. What else do we do? We use Canva for all the graphics, such as the YouTube title slide, the IG story and post templates for the podcast account, and any other graphic that we will share with our guests to cross-promote the episode. And I have preset templates that I just go in there, and it's easy now to just update really fast. So my team goes and updates it and just would import it into StreamYard before the episode is to be recorded, and the work is done really fast. Now, prior to recording, I should have started with that. We use Google Forms to intake the future guest bio, headshot, topic of interest that they want to talk about, any relevant information, including fun facts that we might be using to introduce them or throughout the conversation. And this is where AI automation comes into play. Bardeen, via this one playbook that I mentioned that is built specifically for this one task, would take the Google form intake information and then run it through ChatGPT via a very custom prompt that I generated right in the beginning when I decided to have a bit of a script. And that generates a script for the intro, for the questions, transitions, mid-roll ad, outro that is ready to be used, and then it gets saved in a Google Doc and in Notion, because Notion is where I organize and keep track of all my projects, content, and events, really. And lastly, after the episode airs out, we use repurpose.io. Disclaimer, we use it sometimes, and then just because I wanted to spread across a lot of the channels, but particularly for the podcast channel, especially Instagram, for example, or TikTok, I like to create my own templates and use those from Canva so that everything looks the same. Like I really like that, branding to be cohesive and consistent across all episodes. So repurpose AI comes really handy if I just want to have some of those snippets that are taken from the YouTube uploaded file and sent to some of the other channels. And I have quite a bit of other channels. But one thing that I'm going to mention here, I think there's still a bit of a long way in their AI ability to capture really relevant snippets. Gloss AI was another tool that I was using, and this is not Swell AI. Swell AI was for transcripts. Gloss AI was a tool that I was using for those snippets, and their behind the scenes AI algorithm was way better at capturing relevant content. I end up parting ways because the script does a whole lot of that. And if you have been using AI tools, you know that those charges can add up really fast. So if you don't want to be stuck in a multiple monthly subscriptions with a lot of AI tools, and you can find one tool that does most of the things that you need to, I highly encourage you to look into that and do that. And that's pretty much the down and dirty on what happens behind the scenes during the production of the Events Demystified podcast. And then we have the same workflow that we apply to some of the other podcasts that we produce, one of them being Return on Wellness, for example. Although the editing part for Return on Wellness is somewhat more elaborate because many of the episodes that David Stevens records are recorded in person in a multi-camera setup, which requires one additional editing step. So that being said, let's get into some of the practical things that are happening behind the scenes. But I still want to follow my workflow here because I like consistency. So one of those is reminder, do use that QR code. And let me see if I am going to. Okay. I hope the stream is not having issues because on LinkedIn right now, I see that there's some issues loading the stream. Let me go back to it to make sure that I'm not losing you. Okay. I think we're good. I just don't know where my comments went. So thank you, LinkedIn, for being so easy to work with. All right. In the AI news, this is one thing that I like to touch, and I have touched on every single week because I feel like there's some AI news every week, if not every other day. So in the AI news, just this weekend, so like we're midweek right now, Google has been taking on ChatGPT with their AI agents. And this is something that our friends at Social 27, Ike and his team have been going on and on and on about the empowerment that AI agents give in the process, where OpenAI is still sort of like in this announcement mode of what their agents might look like, but they haven't really released anything yet. So Google Cloud's Vertex AI agent builder was just released this past weekend, and the AI agents are really entering the world where everybody can use them, empowering people to do more with less, which is something that I've been saying about every other episode, if not every other AI talk that I give and workshop. These agents can include customer service support, employee productivity, creative content, data analysis, code navigation, and some of the examples that they give. And I mean, they have a list of 101 real world examples of how AI agents and this Vertex AI tool can really help you with. So some of their examples include Mercedes-Benz personalized user experience, Uber's developers productivity, Careforce marketing studio, and Google's enhanced BigQuery service. And this article, if you're going to go back to, and I should put it in the chat, make sure that I get to it really quick. Okay. Sorry, I do not have an assistant today to do all of this work for me. So multitasking at the highest level. So this link that I put in chat, and maybe I should put it across other platforms here, if you're tuning in from, say, a YouTube or Facebook. It really is a showcase of some practical ways in which Gen AI and its potential can really drive business value, business processes, and provide you with this powerful tool for improving productivity, efficiency, something that I'm very strong on, again, as a woman-owned production agency that wears a lot of hats. If I can delegate some of these tasks to an AI agent, more power to me. Now, here's a question for you. How do you think that the widespread adoption of Google's AI agents, like the Vertex AI Agent Builder, will affect the landscape of industries such as customer support, creative content, data analysis? Do you see this as a major shift towards more efficient and intelligent business processes, or are there maybe potential challenges that need to be addressed before embarking on that journey? So share your thoughts and let's explore the broader impact of this AI agents together. And I'm going to make sure to drop that question again in the chat. And I got to go to this other screen every time I do that, just because that has access to my chat. And here we go, doing that right now. And also dropping it on LinkedIn. Okay, done and done. Okay, next segment of this AI Sparks and Speaks. You're used to it by now if you have joined previous episodes. It's the AI glossary. For this week's focus on integrating AI and AI avatars into the production of the Events Demystified podcast, I chose 3 AI glossary terms that are relevant to the tools and processes mentioned. One of them is automated content generation, ACG, and this term refers to the use of AI technologies to automatically create content such as scripts, blog posts, social media updates without human interventions. Tools like Descript, ChatGPT are examples of ACG, where AI analyzes the input, such as the video recording or the user submitted data, the prompts, and produces usable content, enhancing productivity and content reach. AI-driven workflow automation, this is where the use of AI tools is used to streamline and automate complex workflows. In the context of today's episode that was described earlier, Bardeen plays a crucial role by automating the process of converting Google Forms data into scripted content via a ChatGPT prompt, which is then organized in Notion. This term really highlights the integration of AI to optimize this operational efficiency and reduce the manual workload. Because let me tell you, in the past, I used to do this all by hand, and it would take me 2 hours on average, because it's a lot of work to make sure that you come up with the right questions and you make sure that you highlight the expertise that the guest comes in. And I'm very strong on making sure that if I'm bringing an expert on the podcast, they really get to shine, to show what they know, what their knowledge is, what their expertise is, and just make them the star of the show. Now, cross-platform content syndication, this is the process of using AI tools like, for example, repurpose.io to automatically distribute and manage content across various digital platforms according to some predefined templates and schedules. This approach really ensures that there's consistent content delivery, and it maximizes exposure without requiring a lot of manual posting for each platform to each platform, but also keeping your branding consistent. And if you have listened to my last episode on Events Demystified Podcast, where Leanne Calderwood talks about branding, professional branding, individual branding as a event planner in the event world, this is very important. Brand consistency is very important. So if you are new at it, maybe listen to that episode. There's a lot of good tips shared on there. But that's basically what shows how AI can enhance digital marketing strategies. So this terms really, the reason why I wanted to bring them up is because they cover the scope of AI applications in automating content creation, managing workflows, distributing content, which pretty much are integral, if you ask me, to modern digital production and broadcasting, as we're going to discuss in our series here. Okay, one last time, dropping this on the screen to make sure that don't forget about it. And even at the cost of me repeating myself and being a bit of a nagger. Now, one thing I really wanted to go back, because I got a lot of questions last week on how did I generate this very delicate signature. And just for the record, because I've also had people say, hey, don't share your signature online, blah, blah, blah. This is not my actual signature that I sign on checks, just to be clear. This is what I wanted to use at the bottom of my email, or maybe on some of the podcasting graphics. It's a beautiful signature. Yes, I could have written this myself, although I'm not a good drawer, so that microphone would have definitely not come up that good. So what I wanted to do is actually take one prompt, this prompt that I am going to show you how it was produced in the first place. And I might even share it with you in the chat. So if you want to create something similar that's just delicate, it's a single line drawing, and it looks beautiful to maybe use in your own marketing, you are more than welcome to use that and change maybe the symbol and the name. Please do change the name. And create your own. Okay, so I was trying this through several text to image generators to see what I get. We didn't have a lot of time to touch on this last week. I feel like I was busy with showcasing some of the other tools, and I might have not spent much time on it. So I'm going to start the practical part of today's stream with that, so that you can see how that was created. All right. And now here we are at our practical side, right? The streamlined summary of our podcast production processes I've already told you about. We record with StreamYard. We edit and enhance with the script. We do the intro with 𝐂𝐤𝐯𝐞. The graphic design is done through Canva. ChatGPT is what is used, part of the prompting that will be taken into Bardeen to read the information that was sent via the Google form intake and then produced into a script. And then Notion is where I organize all the projects, all the episodes I can easily go back to and find, different things that I talked about, so I don't repeat myself in the episodes coming up. And then the content distribution done post episode with repurpose AI. And really, this end-to-end process leverages all these AI tools, because my goal has been from the get-go to streamline operations, to enhance content quality, but also ensure this consistent promotion and distribution. And if there's one thing that I would say I've been good at, especially over the 5 years of producing this podcast, is being consistent. Being consistent no matter how crazy work, events, business, other life happenings have been gotten. And I feel like if you want to start the podcast, if you don't have one, this is one of the best tips I can give you. Try to be consistent in what you do. So if consistency means I can only post and produce one episode a month, that's great. If consistency means for you doing it 4 times a week, 4 times a month, that's fabulous. Every day, I mean, more power to you. I wouldn't know if I'd be able to actually be surviving with that kind of schedule. But I know people that can, but then maybe they don't handle as many things that I do, or are involved in so many different businesses and activities. All right. And then I'm going to touch on the workflow that I mentioned that was tightened up through Bardeen, the playbook that really focuses on how we take all of these processes and automate it as much as possible. There's still going to be a bit of the human touch, checking all the questions, verifying that the information has been accurately transferred from the input form into the script. And then obviously script is a reference for me. Like, I'm not just going to be like there. And anybody that has interviewed with me and has been on the podcast, they know that it's a flowing, open conversation. And I'm not rigid at all to sticking to the script. But I like to have the script as a way to keep the conversation on point and focus, so we don't, go off who knows where, and then it's hard to come back. All right, so I need a moment to change some of my screens here so we can go into the practical aspect of some of those. So while I do that, I will play some music for you so you're not all bored. I'm gonna put this QR code on here so you remember to hit it, and I'll see you in just a few seconds. All right, so as I promised, I will start with ideogram. And I wanted to show you the making of this particular beautiful looking signature. Actually, I was kind of proud of it. So here's where the initial prompt, this was the initial prompt that I gave, and I'm gonna try to put it here on LinkedIn. Let me give myself 1 minute to, of course, I'm not logged into LinkedIn on that browser. So let's try this way. Oh gosh, yeah, why not? We're not gonna do that here. I'm gonna do it on this other screen. Because guess what? I only have about 4 or 5 monitors that I can work with. So I'm gonna take it from here. All right. And let's drop it in. I hope you can still hear me. I'll move my microphone on this side. Let's drop it here on LinkedIn in the comments so you have access to it. So obviously what I want you to change is the symbol and my name. Do not generate this with my name. Where you see those brackets, change the name, please. So I started with that, but then here's the cool thing about ideogram, right? So ideogram also has this ability to refine your prompt, so it gives you an even better version of that. So if we were to take this refinement of a prompt and run it through ideogram, and this is where you have a few options that we covered last time. You can make that to be a 9x16, a 1x1, which is square, right? The 16x9. You can have the magic prompt to be generated or not. So I'm going to run this again and see if I actually get a similar output of that one thing. And I am going to profess I have maybe used a lot of my tokens in ideogram, and what that means, the output is not as fine-tuned when you use your tokens as when you have many tokens left. So let's see what we got here. Oh, that's not bad at all, actually. This is kind of pretty. I like this. Maybe I'll use this one next time. So you have 4 outputs, basically. This is a lot of swirly swirl things, but okay. This was the other one. Not bad. I am digging this one as well. And this is really elegant. I like that. All right. So let me tell you, if I were to take this to ChatGPT, or even like Microsoft, has the Copilot and a designer that you could be using. And if you were to do this in the Copilot, which I haven't touched on a whole lot last week, just because I don't use it a lot. But on this computer, on this machine, I have Microsoft Bing, and it's just part of the browsing. So it's giving me a bit of a chat here, but let's see, what did you design? Why am I not signed in? I thought I was signed in. So I guess I'll have to sign in to find the output. But I'm going to try to do it in ChatGPT in Dolly just so that you get, I swear to God, I promise I was signed in all of those, but I guess I'm not. Okay, here we go. So why do I care for this to be in ChatGPT 4 mode? It's just because the output will be way better. So let's see what Dolly is going to create from this. Just to see a difference of what that is. And maybe in the meantime, I'll try to sign in on here to see if I can get my, okay. Isn't it nice when you do all of this live so everybody can see your login? It's like, okay, come on, you silly tool. Okay, where is it? Where are you? Okay, sounds like I have to do this again. I'm not a big fan of Bing or Microsoft or Copilot or Designer. Just putting it out there. Okay, so what did we get here? Oh, so yeah, that's what you get in ChatGPT. Pretty much not what we're looking for. Far-fetched from what we got in Ideogram. And this is why, for me, after Midjourney, Ideogram is my go-to. And you can try to convince me otherwise. All right, so that's that. I'm not going to go back and waste time here because it looks like it's going to be a minute. What I wanted to, actually maybe not so much of a minute. Maybe we do get what we need. But again, if this is powered by Dolly 3, I'm doubtful that this will look anything better than what we already got. Okay, so what's this? Okay. I suppose it's something, okay? It's definitely something. Am I happy with it? No. I mean, it's something. It's better than Dolly, I suppose. Yeah, probably that's not what I would want to use if I wanted to make this my signature or my graphic. So that's basically what I wanted to showcase. This is far superior of an output than any of the other ones that I have played with so far. All right, so let's go into the production of the podcast now. This is normally what my my form would look like. And this is for 2024. I have had one for 2023. And then basically my responses would get would be saved into a Google spreadsheet. And in the past, I would have to go and take all of this and generate some kind of a script. And my goal was for that script to, to look somewhat consistent. Now, and that's sort of like, say, a past script, right, of what that would be looking like. Now, with Bardeen playbooks, and this is where Bardeen is a Chrome extension, so you'd have it installed. I have several playbooks that are running in the background, especially for lead gen on LinkedIn. But this was the script that we worked on. And what it does, basically, we take that information from let's see if we can, okay, we can open that to look behind the hood, but it would take the information from the script, run it through this prompt that I have created in ChatGPT. This is my original prompt that specifically tells GPT what to do and how to fill out the script. And then Bardeen will put that into a Word document. I already ran this. It takes a minute based on how many inputs are in this, because right now we're working on, actually, this is something that I am working with the team on an update. What it has done is has taken all the inputs in this document and then created scripts for each one of them. But really what I wanted to do, the next reiteration of that playbook, is to only take the last line of that one spreadsheet. So anytime there's going to be a trigger, anytime there's going to be a update to this spreadsheet, it would go to that one last line and then would generate a script particular for that. So like if this was the last line, then would just generate a script for that. And what it does, it literally would take, based on this prompt, it would take the feature guest information, the bio, the fun facts, the interest topics, the questions that the guest provided, and then generate the script based on the instructions that I gave it. And then that is turned into this. Now, what I would do from here, obviously, I'm going to copy proof that this is accurate stuff. And then I would turn it into a more visually appealing script. And let's say in the example of Shenandoah, which we just recorded recently, it would look more like this, where it's ready to be used. And I like to, again, OCD person here, I like to have things very much visually appealing. All right, so that was that. Now let's go into the script, right? Right now the script is running in the browser. The script can also be on your desktop as an app. I have it on my Mac because my MacBook Pro is way faster at editing. So that's kind of where I run a lot of the editings, especially when I'm on the go. This here is my workstation at home. A lot of the streaming happens from here, Vimeo streaming. But I wanted to showcase you this. This is an episode that is going to come out on April 26, I believe. And it was recorded with Eric Rosenberg. By the way, my episode with Rosenberg has just come out on The Business of Events. It's posted on my profile. It's a fantastic conversation. If you want to tune into that, it's really good. But here's a few things that I wanted to showcase you. First off, I have subtitles that I can add automatically, and I have created actually a specific template. So if I'm editing different type of videos, I have multiple templates that the subtitles, the captions would look like. So why this matters is because, for example, here, I want this to be very much on brand with my colors for the podcast. Couple of things here that are amazing. This is where obviously you can remove all the filler words. If you want to shorten word gaps, you can do that. And you can search in the script, but then you can ask AI. And I have the most uses of this for me particularly have been the YouTube description, because when he creates this YouTube description, again, I have it ready to go, and I can just take the timing. Like, for example, in the episode that was just recorded, let's see. Maybe it's not that one. It's this one here. I have the socials. Obviously, I have the avatar, but then I have the timestamps. This to me is golden because now I can just copy and paste into YouTube and I don't have to worry about. So going back to the script, it has already generated that same thing. It has the timestamps, and I would just copy and basically drop it into YouTube. Another thing that I like to use here is ask AI for some blog posts. I do create blog posts from the episodes. Social post, I already had that. As you can see here are some examples of what some of those social posts look like. And again, you can copy and paste and drop this, or you can do a bit of proofreading to make sure that it sounds like you or it's accurate to what the episode is about. And then another thing here, which is fantastic, because now I don't have to pay for yet another tool, is to get good clips. So 5, probably I need 3 really, and about 30 seconds long, which is great. So it's going to find them, but then also gives you the option to edit them, as in, oh yeah, that sounds great. Like, that was a good capture. Thanks, AI. But it's not so relevant to what I would like to highlight. Then you can go back into the edit, adjust that. And obviously this is taking a minute to generate that. And then you can start another project. Then you can export basically Okay, so we got some of those. You can select them in the script, as I said. And now you know, okay, this is what AI chose to do. And if I'm happy with this, I would just duplicate all to a new composition. So what does that mean is that I would be able to open another project that has all the clips, and all of those clips now can be exported individually. So if I wanted to, for example, export this one particular clip, I would go in here, I would go and do just the current scene, I'll export that, and then when it's time for creating graphics for pre-production or post-production, and this is where I am going to go to home, because I want to show you what that might look like. For example, in the Instagram reels that I already have templates, then I can just go and upload that one clip. I already have the template already created, and the only thing I need to do is drop that. Now, this is a little bit more of a manual. You don't have to do this step, but if you are, again, strong on branding and you want all your posts to look similar to one another, probably you might need to do this step. I do work for myself and give myself more work than probably is necessary, but I want everything to be on brand. And when I say on brand, I mean the square post that I post on Instagram, the lower thirds that get created and ready to use in the podcast, the intro graphics. Okay, not that one. Just jumped over this. The intro graphics that are used in the intro of the episode. And as far as I'm concerned, I want to capture all of this in one swoop in my recording, so I don't have to go back and do a lot of post editing. That's another saving spot that I can do. So now we have Eric I'll probably listen to that before I export it, and it's ready to go on social to someplace. All right, so that's that. Now, what do we do with 𝐻Engine? This is where that script, I'm sure I'm not saying that right, comes into play, because I would ask AI to give me the main takeaways or to summarize the episode. And then the summary, I've noticed that it's a little longer, but this is pretty good depending how you want to do it. So I'll copy that, and then I would go to, like, for example, I already did Eric's introduction. And okay, let me back up on this a little bit. Before you are able to do some of those creations, you do have to generate your AI avatar. There is a process, and they walk you through what that process is. I had my first version of the AI avatar recorded around Christmas time, and then I wanted to redo it because literally there is a stalking in the background, and I'm like, yeah, okay, we can do that like year round. So then I recorded 2 different versions of my AI avatars, one with glasses, one without, because I'm kind of going back and forth. So for anything that I want to do, I would just pick whatever version I want to create another whatever content with. And that's where you go into the AI studio. And as you can see, I have many recordings that have already been deployed for various content, for various episodes. And with Eric, here's the intro. So what you do, you then just drop that content into the script that Mira is going to. Mira is my AI avatar for reference. She's just going to promote the episode. In the studio itself, if you wanted to create a brand new, like I would take, say, one of those AI avatars, and I would go into the studio, and I would go into the scripting, and then I would paste that one summary that I took from the script. Now, I probably would edit that a little bit, and I will say, okay, this is not the script that discusses this. This is Mira, and that's where I would go here and edit my script to match what I wanted to say and make sure that is on point to the messaging I want Mira to highlight. So I would take that obviously into here. One thing that I do, I always increase the speed to about 1.2. Otherwise, it's like slow as fuck, and I don't have time for that. Pitch stays the same. Volume is great. And you'll notice that when you run this by her, she doesn't move until you submit it. Now, why do I try to make all of my scripts about a minute long? Is because every time you generate a script, is going to cost you a credit. And basically with 𝐒𝐤𝐯, you buy credits. So 13 credits means I have 13 minutes of video. And you can buy multiple credits. My plan will renew in about 7 days with more credits because I'm on a monthly plan. But if you do a lot of content, video content, it's important to actually have credits that you can use. All right, and last step into this, once everything is done, this AI avatar that gets basically snapped into Eric's episode here. Let's go back to the project. And it's just a drop into the beginning of the episode. This was not the project. This is the snippets. So let's go back. Go back to the main project. Okay, I don't want to go there. I want to go to my previous back to project. Okay, it's trying to get me to. Okay. I swear to God. I just want to go here. Go here. There you go. So this is where Mira came into play. She did her job well, and then the episode gets exported and gets uploaded to my RSS feed, YouTube, the podcast, the website, and all that. Now, this is where repurpose IO comes into play after you post it to, let's see what we got here. Oh, of course. Why am I not in? Because I already logged in. I hate those apps that kick you out every so often. That's just not cool. So I have created my templates in repurpose IO so that I can use them for Square, for Instagram post. This is for stories, obviously, and this is for LinkedIn. And then you can create multiple connections to deliver from your source, which in this example is YouTube video that was already uploaded to my Events Demystified podcast YouTube channel. And then it can resend it to YouTube as snippets or as shorts. It also sends it to TikTok. It sends it to LinkedIn, to my Events Demystified podcast LinkedIn page. It sends it to Instagram and then to Facebook. And then you can create some sort of a calendar. Right now, I am on pause for this month because I'm trying to go be more intentional with my schedule, and I haven't had a bandwidth to do that just yet. But we'll do that this week. This is basically a lot of the stuff that was happening in March, and you can see like where was it going, it was published at what time. You can go very specific about this. Now, I also posted a lot of the snippets on YouTube, which is fine because those are really short like 30 seconds, 45 seconds videos. So there's that. And let me think, what else did we not cover here? The script is the best right now. Now, let me tell you something about the script, right? So obviously, this is basic editing. Like, sure, you can have like what they call effects, which is a bit of, sound editing. like you can do some graphic EQ. I usually try to actually use my graphic to my custom EQ band to just sound consistent across the board on all my episodes. Um, you can do a little bit, but if you need more in-depth editing, like I personally, for example, for some of my other projects for other clients, I would use Adobe, or I would use Final Cut Pro to do the multicam. I know that the script has included a multicam. I have tried it, and to be honest, I have not been happy with the results. So I'm going to give them some time to work more on that particular feature, and then I'll go back to it and give them another chance, I guess. All right. Let's see. I did not go back to the questions or any of the comments. It's sad that I don't see them right now. Like, I'm not happy about it. I always see them after. But here's the thing. If you have questions, please do DM me. I will make sure that I will get back to you in a timely manner. And if I can support you with anything as far as the production flow, the AI tool to use, or anything of that sort that would help you in your own exploration, I'm more than welcome. I'm more than happy to do so. A few last things here. I just wanted to highlight that I have one more AI workshop coming up. This week, we are kind of at capacity, but I still want to mention it because it's a great opportunity for especially event planners, event managers, anyone that works events to look at what AI tools are available. And I have 3 really solid AI tools that I am sharing this workshop with the class. And it really helps you to get hours back into your day. And now, if you were to get 10 hours back into your day, well, not day, but week, wouldn't that be something that you want to take advantage of? I personally know that if I am to spend an hour and a half in the gym prepping for my next competition, I want to have that hour and a half available to me. And if there's a tool that will help me expedite or get more productive or more efficient, then I would be silly not to use it. So that's what this course is about. It's an introduction. My goal is to actually go one-on-one with those that sign up so I can be more specific to their need and their workflow, and then provide them with some tools that really give them value. So if you're interested, please do keep an eye on Trifan Events website. That's where we post our next dates for either AI for events or the AI bootcamp, which is very much focused on business operations and productivity. And then if you're not sure, like, what's the right course for you, you can always reach out to me. I'm more than happy to have a conversation, 15-minute conversation. It's simple, it's easy, no strings attached. Let's talk about what you are struggling or what's your challenge, and then we can create a plan from there so that it's beneficial to you. So with that being said, here's my QR code, here's my LinkedIn profile. Connect with me. I would love to hear if this mini series has been helpful to you, if you have gained knowledge, value from it, because that will obviously inform my next plan to maybe do another one later in the summer. But if I don't hear from you, and if I don't get any feedback, or if only 1 or 2, 3 people found it valuable, then I don't know if it's the best use of my time, to be honest, right? So if you gleaned information, tips, or anything of that nature, do me a favor and let me know. I would really, really appreciate that. And with that, this is pretty much me saying Thank you for hanging all the way till the end. I also have a QR code for resources. There is a lot of AI tools that we share on our website at Trifan Events, because we want to make sure that you're empowered and you have the right tools for whatever it is that you want to implement them for. And yeah, that's a wrap. Thank you for sticking with me for 5 weeks. Thank you for joining on this journey through, you could say, the fascinating world of AI. And while, again, like I said, the series is ending, it doesn't mean that my post on AI will end. It does not mean that my AI news post on LinkedIn will cease. It doesn't mean that the exploration into AI will stop. And hearing from you, knowing that you're curious about what else is happening with this ever-changing world, it really is being the driving force for this series. And I really hope to continue this journey with you. Don't miss out on further learnings, opportunities. Connect with me on LinkedIn, as I mentioned, for updates on future AI workshops, boot camps that can really enhance your skills and understanding. Also, keep tuning into Events Demystified Podcast. We have the Evolution of AI season running right now. It's a bit more broad, doesn't cover just AI, covers multiple other topics, because I want it to be a little more broad, so that the audience that might not care about AI can still get value. There is a lot of episodes that will come up that do talk about AI tools, and some of them are really, really good. But there's also conversations about, like, how do you survive as an introvert in an extroverted world? How do you build your branding? How are you successful in your small business as an event planner? How do you turn that into a larger business? So all of those are topics that are meaningful, especially if you're in the event industry. And my goal is really to keep providing value to anyone that is interested to listen. Thank you again for being such an integral part of AI Sparks and Speaks. I look forward to continuing our venture into the world of AI, and hear from you, and we'll uncover, demystify this world one insight at a time. See you next time.
Hi again, I'm 𝐂𝐫𝐞𝐚's avatar. As we wrap up our exciting 5-week journey through AI Sparks and Speaks, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to each of you for joining us. Your participation and insights have truly enriched our discussions and helped illuminate the path of AI innovation. As we close this series, remember that the conversation isn't over. I encourage you to stay connected with 𝐂𝐚𝐾 on LinkedIn. She's always sharing insights and updates that can greatly benefit anyone interested in the intersection of technology and events. You can look forward to more educational live streams in the future, so definitely keep an eye out. In the meantime, if you're eager for more insightful content, tune into the Events Demystified podcast. We're currently exploring the evolution of AI season, along with other topics that are incredibly relevant for event professionals, entrepreneurs, and tech enthusiasts. It's a fantastic resource to continue your education and inspiration. Thank you once again for being a part of this adventure at AI Sparks and Speaks. Your curiosity and engagement have sparked many meaningful conversations, and I can't wait to see where they lead us next. See you soon.